There's obviously a lot of prep that goes into, you know, plans and those sort of things in terms of 4-day cricket. Obviously we've got Louis, who's brilliant up there. Some good minds in bats, Jade and Jim. So there's some good people to bounce off. But yeah, a fair amount of homework goes into it. It's all about building pressure for long periods of time. Keep extending it. When we've got them, extend with it. That's actually it. Yes! Yeah, look at it. I can't keep dealing with him.
Should we have a team photo, actually? Let's have a team photo.
Get up there.
Dales.
Ed.
There you go, you got one.
Go well.
Thank you. Go well, both.
Have a good one, Rory. Cheers.
Well, basically, I just hoyed it as high as I could, and it landed on the head.
Yeah, you can do that.
And when you're off, don't think that you're off, mate, but you're leading the charge for half an hour.
And if you see people saying, no, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan Patel, I'm in charge.
And if you think that you're going to go to a boundary at one stage today, think again.
And if they think they can't respect you, go better.
Well, after Gus Atkinson struck Sean Dixon on the glove, Somerset made pretty steady progress on that first morning, getting through to lunch without losing a wicket. Surrey bowled well, but they didn't create too many outright chances. And the game really turned after lunch when Surrey completely put a lid on Somerset's run scoring.
Frank and George might have their own conversations. I'm trying to hammer home just that consistency and that pressure, because you know over long periods of time that rewards us, and we've seen that as a group. So I'm less about the googlies as much and more about hammering home that pressure. I think with the ball, you look at the scoring rate and you try to hold scoring rates and get wickets in clusters. Particularly here, you know, the pace of our pitches, you always know that with our seam attacks are going to probably pull something out of you. So it's more about just that, exerting that control.
Gus Atkinson showed his international class in the week that he was named one of the 5 Wisden Cricketers of the Year. He bowled with a little extra pace and intensity.
If you're controlling the scoreboard, more than likely, as a batter, you feel like you're going nowhere. You're going to want to try and force an issue or try and maybe play a shot where it might cost you a wicket.
Batters play and miss the ball 6% of the time in first-class cricket. Surrey made Somerset play and miss about 9% of the time on that first day. James Taylor made Somerset batters play and miss 11.5% of the time on that first day. They were relentless with that old ball, and they made that old ball talk as well. So even though it was a good pitch, they managed to get Somerset to 187 for 7. Given that Somerset were 98 without loss earlier in the day, that was an amazing effort. Surrey were able to just keep going at 3.5 runs and over. Dom Sibley batted really patiently, but alongside him, Rory Burns batted at a really brisk rate, and so did Jamie Smith. Jamie Smith was consistently aggressive, and those two in particular, Burns and Smith, ensured that Surrey were always applying pressure on the Somerset bowlers, which wasn't something that Somerset were able to do in the middle session on day one.
if you keep getting nicked off by good ones, then fair enough. And then with the bat, I think it's more just getting guys in rhythm. Like you see Sibs at the minute, there's a confidence about how he's playing, and getting guys to trust themselves and trusting their process of how they're scoring their runs, and then sticking to it and knowing that what good scores are on certain surfaces, making sure you get to them and then trying to force the game with runs in the bank.
Dan Lawrence batting at 6. He basically carried on his form from the previous week. 100 at home, eye-catching 100 at home. He batted really well with the tail, saw through a tricky period on the second evening and then went up through the gears on the third morning, getting a half century and making sure that Surrey's lead was a significant one, 83-run lead.
Give him a massive day, mate, get into it.
Get into it, straight in.
Massive dig. Brilliant catch down the leg side from Ben Folkes, showing just his technical prowess with the gloves, really. He made a lot of distance before he made the dive, making a really, really difficult catch. Almost look regulation. Great bit of captaincy from Rory Burns, getting Dan Lawrence on for not just 1 over, but 2 overs before the lunch break. And Lawrence struck in his first over, trapping Tom Lambie in front, LBW. Slight change from Clark after lunch that really got the collapse going, where he brought his length back just a little bit, aimed for the splice of the bat, and you saw that most noticeably in the wicket of Josh Davey, who batted nicely at number 3, the surprise number 3 for Somerset, with a ball that just lifted a little bit, and Davey was a little bit late onto it. And even though he got face of the bat on the ball, the angle of the bat with that extra bounce meant that the ball trickled down onto the stumps.
At least I did it for you in your second glance. Made the content relevant. The longer you do something, the more pressure that you can build. You're going to get rewarded down the line. I don't think that really changes regardless of where you play or who you play against. So, yeah, I'm expecting another good game of cricket and hopefully come out on the right side.
Bowling again?
Depends who wins the toss.
No, I think you.
What? No, maybe. It's my sort of surface, I reckon. It's green.